Hello, my people. This is your friend Pastor Steve again, coming to you all the way from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Today, I want to venture into a topic that is going to be interesting, and I'm thinking this might be a part series of maybe two or more other video audios. And the reason why I'm going to be dealing with this today is because I have observed with a lot of concern that every time I look around and look for materials and comments and things people have sent either wherever, most of the time the materials has to do with how women should be treated by their men, how women should be treated by their husbands, and what have you. But rarely do you hear people coming up with the other way around about women treating their men, women treating their men. It's all about women, and sisters. When you're listening to this, please, I'm not biased in any way, but I think I want to speak for husbands today, and I want to speak for the men today, because I believe in every relationship, and especially in marriage, both husbands and wives have a big part to play for it to succeed. Therefore, today and in this series, I'm going to be talking to you about 30 golden rules that every woman should know about their husband. 30 golden rules that every woman should know about their husbands. We're going to be using the Bible as our basis, and also issues in life. Now, understand that it's all about making it better for our relationships. And as I begin speaking, I must give credit to whoever who wrote this, because I don't want to deceive you and tell you that all this has come from me or it has been downloaded on me. But it is a material that I was reading. Unfortunately, I don't even remember where I read this, but this is something I had read some times back. Probably maybe 2 or so years ago. And as I was going through my notes, and I have a lot of notes which I'm working on and also preparing my book with, as I was going through them, I came across them and I said, this is a good thing that probably my viewers would enjoy and my viewers would learn from. And therefore, you'll allow me just to deal with probably the first 10 right now. And then in the next series, I'm going to deal with 10 more. And then the third series, I'm going to deal with 10 more, and the other last 10, because there are 30 golden rules. So we'll begin with the first 10 golden rules, then go on and on and on. Now remember, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also don't forget to share these messages with somebody. Make sure somebody else hears what you are hearing right now. Now, the first golden rule that every woman should know about their husband is, number one, is that never raise your voice for any reason to your husband, because it is a sign of disrespect. Proverbs chapter number 15 verse number 1 explains that. Never raise your voice for any reason to your husband, for it is a sign of disrespect. Sisters, women out there, please avoid raising your voices to your husbands. I know we are in a time where everybody is saying we have equality, we have free, and all that stuff. I don't mind that, but please, every time you're talking to your husband, and every time you're talking to your man and you're raising your voice, what he is hearing from your voice is that you do not respect him. And listen to me, the responsibility of a woman, of our man, is not even necessarily to love him, and I'm going to be explaining that later on. But one of the key responsibilities which we find in the Bible is for the woman to give respect to the men. The men have responsibilities to love their wives, but the women have responsibilities to give respect to their husbands. So every time you actually raise your voice and you start talking to him, you're shouting at him, is a sign of disrespect. Number two is, don't expose your husband's weaknesses to your family and to your friends. It will bounce back at you. You are each other's keepers. Ephesians chapter number 5 verse number 12. Never expose your husband's weaknesses to your family and your friends. Please, it does not matter what weaknesses your husband has. It does not matter the things that he does probably that you don't like, the things that he's doing that are not making you happy, or whatever it is. Please don't expose them to your friends and your family. The moment you expose the weaknesses of your husband to your friends and your family, what you're basically doing is that you're causing those people to disrespect him. You are causing them to despise him. You are causing them to have nothing to do with him. Many times we sometimes wonder why our family members behave the way they behave. Sometimes we wonder why they do what they do. We don't seem to understand why they have nothing to do with our families or nothing to do with our husbands. But basically it's because you have told them so much about him that they have no value for him anybody. If there is something that is going to kill your husband and kill him quickly, is when you expose his weaknesses to your friends and to his families. Don't gossip your husband with them, please. Number 3, and this is also a very powerful golden rule, is that never use attitudes and moods to communicate to your husband. You never know how your husband will interpret it. Now, defensive women don't have a happy home. Never, Proverbs chapter 15 verse 13. Never use attitudes and moods to communicate to your husband. Don't show him that at this time you are not talking to him. At this time you can throw your shoulders. At this time you can show him that he is not, the kind of moods that people develop and the kind of attitudes that people develop. Don't do that, because whenever you do that, the husband does not interpret it well. Don't become very defensive, because when you're too defensive and creating defense as a way of showing your moods and all that, what happens at the end of the day, the husband says or understands that you're actually telling him that you're not interested with him, and you're actually shutting him out of your life. And most likely that kind of a husband end up going out. That kind of a husband ends up going to, that is why you find there are men who don't want to go home in the evening from work quickly, because of the attitude and the mood they get in the house. Women, please, when you have a bad mood, when you have a bad attitude, that is wrongly interpreted. Number 4, never compare your husband to other men. You have no idea what their life is all about. If you attack his ego, his love for you will diminish. Do not compare him with other men. I know you have other friends out there, women. You have colleagues at work. You have schoolmates. You have people whom you look out there and you see they have succeeded. Some of you even have brothers, and you have even your own father who are very successful in life, and maybe they have done greater things than your husband. Please do not use them as a way of comparing them with your husband. You never loved them. That is why you didn't get married to them. You never loved them. That is why you never took them. Please, your husband is your husband. You must be proud of him. You must talk well about him. Do not compare him with other men. Number 5, never ill-treat your husband's friends because you don't like them. The person who is supposed to get rid of them is your husband himself. Read Proverbs 11:22. Do not mishandle the friends of your husband because you don't like them. You don't mistreat them because you don't like them. When they come near him, you show them, you are very, very outright to show them that you are not interested with him. The friends of your husband, they are your friends. One of the ways of lifting the ego of your husband, one of the ways of making your husband know that you really care about him, is when he sees that you are also concerned about what he likes. He sees that you're concerned about the people he likes. So that means he has friends that are with him, also be part of their friendship. Now, if the friends are not good, you don't need to mistreat them. What you need to do is advise your husband in your chambers, in your room, in your house. Talk to him about them. Tell him, this person is not a good influence to you. This person is not leading you well. This person is not doing good to you. The husbands will always have ears to hear a wife who will talk to them with respect and who will show genuine concern. So please don't do that. Don't do that. Number 6, sorry. I'm sorry about that. Number 6 is that never forget that your husband married you, not your maid or anyone else. Do your duties. Your husband married you. Do your duties. What that means is that don't leave the responsibilities of the house and the other responsibilities that are meant for you. Don't leave them to a house help or to a housemaid or to a servant in the house or somebody else. It is you, the husband, married. Men take pride when they see their woman bringing food to them on the table. Men take pride when they see their wives serving them in a particular way, in a respectful way. They do that. They feel very good. And whenever you do that to a man, I tell you the truth, that man will give you anything you desire in the world. He will do for you anything you desire in the world. And then number 7, Never assign anyone to give attention to your husband. People may do everything else, but your husband is your own responsibility. And by the way, number 6, the scripture I want to give you is Genesis 2:24. Okay, number 7, again I repeat, never assign anyone to give attention to your husband. People may do everything else, but your husband is your own responsibility. Ephesians chapter 5 verse 33. The responsibility of your husband is yours. For example, when you go out with him, you've gone to a function, to an event, you need to the husband, you are the one to minister to him if there is need for that. I know we need to also do that as men. As a husband, we also need to do that. The wife is my responsibility. I need to do things for him, to do romantic things for her. If we go to a hotel, I pull the chair for her, I serve her in different ways and all that. Show her those things that are very nice and very romantic. That's important for me to do. But at the same time, you as a woman need to show the same thing, express the same thing. If you go to a place and you're seeing other women are the ones who are serving your husband, other women are the ones who are ministering to your husband, other women are the ones who are trying to do things to your husband, and you are just seated there, something is not right. You need to rise up to the occasion and say, you know what, this man is my man, this is my husband, and he's my responsibility. Don't allow somebody else to take up that responsibility. And then number 8, golden rule number 8, never blame your husband if he comes back home empty-handed. What you need to do is encourage him. You should encourage him. Deuteronomy chapter number 3 verse number 28. Please keep on reading these verses for yourself. Never blame your husband if he comes home empty-handed. If he comes home, he has been toiling out there, and he comes home, he did not succeed to get the money, he did not succeed to get something to bring home. Don't blame him, don't curse him, don't fight him, don't break him, don't tell him he's useless and all those things, other things. No. That man is trying. He's trying his best. That's why he went out. That is why he tried to go out that so that he can come back and give something. I know now we are living in a time both women and men are working and doing things and all that stuff. But listen, at the end of the day, according to Genesis chapter number 1 and chapter number 2, where God gives responsibility, we see the first thing God gives to Adam before even he gives him a woman or a wife, he gives him work, meaning that Adam had the responsibility to take care of stuff and to take care of things. So please don't beat him, encourage him. And then number 9, golden rule number 9, never be a wasteful wife. Your husband's sweat is too precious to be wasted. Don't mishandle things. Don't waste things. Don't use things in the name of we have a lot. No. You have to have a futuristic mind. You have to have a bigger vision. So when it is brought, invest in it. But I thank God because I know many women have ability to do that. There are many women who have rescued their husbands, by the way. There are many men who are more wasteful than women. That one I agree. But you as a woman, you need to be a woman who when received, you multiply, because a woman generally is a multiplier. A woman, you give him a seed, you give her a seed in her womb, she comes out with a beautiful baby. Why? Because she multiplies small things and makes them to big things. So you give a woman a small amount of money and gives you a beautiful meal. You give a woman a small piece of cloth and she comes out with beautiful dresses or beautiful clothes. Why is that? It's because generally a woman is a multiplier. You need to be a multiplier. And then finally, in this number 1 series or episode 1 is number 10 golden rule is never pretend to be sick for the purpose of denying your husband sex. You must give it to him how he wants it. Sex is very important to men. If you keep denying him, it's a matter of time before another woman takes over that duty. No man can withstand sex starvation for too long, even the anointed ones or whoever else you can think about. Now that's a very strong statement. It's a very strong statement. But women, listen to me. Do not use sex as a reason for punishing your husband. Do not deny it to him. If you do so, you are not doing good. If you do so, you are not doing good. Please save him. Save that man. Save that man. I know women, it is possible for you to stay without it, but for men, it is a big deal. It's a big deal. And every time you reject him, every time you show him you don't want it, you don't want to give it to him, every time you use it as a way of punishing him, or every time you use it as a way of getting back to him, I'm telling the truth, you are throwing that man out to the wolves, and there are wolves that are waiting for him out there. and they will eat him up. They will do things to him. They will mess him up. You are going to get him to somebody else if you continue doing that. Give it to him. And by the way, listen to me. If there is a powerful place which women need to know God gave them, is that place of the bed, is that place of sex. Sex is a tool that every woman has been given to keep their husbands happy. Now listen to me, ladies. I am giving you 30 golden rules to keep your husband happy. 30 golden rules to keep your husband happy. Listen to me. Listen to my advice. And if you do so, you will definitely turn your marriage around. Watch out for episode number 2 as I continue with the next 10 golden rules. I love you and I appreciate you, ladies. And please share this message with everybody. Subscribe to my channel. And remember, you are simply the best. Let's keep it simple, keep it real, to the point, and always anointed. Your friend from Murfreesboro. Please get my contacts immediately after this, and God bless.
Each day